Back to my editorial at the top of the hour. Joining us, Kristin Tate, contributor with The Hill. Kristin, look, I'm saying very clearly and quite harshly perhaps that the Democrats are running not on the issues that affect us. They don't have the ideas that affect us. They're running on race, identity politics, statues and all the rest of it. I'm quite harshly critical of the Democrats for that. How about you?
Yeah, you're right on the money there, Stuart. The left has no unifying message, no uplifting policies, and really no platform, so they continue to run on identity politics. It's all about racism, sexism, and homophobia. And you know, Stuart, the state of the Democratic Party today is so sad. I don't know what happened to the party of JFK. You know, what happened to think not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Today, that would probably be considered right-wing racism. Well, you know, the Democrat Party of today...
Well, look,
the Democrat Party of today just seems to be run by special interests and these people who want to push victimhood.
But am I going too far? Am I going too far? Because I'm saying that I don't think the Democrats have a growth plan. I don't think they've got a real plan that would lower the cost of health care and various other areas in which they don't seem to have any plan, any policy. Like $15 an hour minimum wage. I mean, that's a failure, and they're clinging to it. Am I just being too harsh here?
No, you're right. The party has absolutely no solutions. The Democratic Party has become one of victimhood and of seething hatred that despises free speech. It's absolutely despicable, but I also think it's not effective. So I say let Donald Trump and the Republicans keep talking about jobs and the economy and growth, and let the Democrats keep talking about transgender bathrooms and tearing down historical statues.
All right.
We'll see who wins next year.
Well, now let's look on the other side of the coin. Look at the Republicans. Listen to what Senator Susan Collins, Republican from Maine, listen to what she says about the 2020 presidential race. Roll tape.
I didn't support the president when he was our party's nominee. That was a very difficult position for me to take. I'd never taken it before. Instead, I wrote in the name of Paul Ryan.
Do you think he will end up the party's nominee in 2020?
It's too difficult to say.
Well, the Republican Party is as divided as the Democrats lack ideas. I mean, it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this is just pathetic. I don't even know why Susan Collins calls herself a Republican. She's consistently fighting against conservative values and against Donald Trump. And quite frankly, when Susan Collins says something, it means about as much to me as when Chuck Schumer says something. I mean, I give them the same credence. But you're right. You know, the establishment GOP is just as much a threat to the Trump agenda as the far left-wing progressives are. But, you know, this is the kind of stuff we've come to expect from the swamp. With regards to what Susan Collins actually said, though, about 2020, she might be right, Stuart. I mean, think about what Donald Trump is up against. He has 50% of the country and the entire mainstream media consistently trying to take him down and make him seem like a modern-day Hitler. It's absolutely despicable. And meanwhile, Congress is getting absolutely nothing done when it comes to his agenda. You know, the people like Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan, these are the people who are ultimately probably going to have the biggest impact on Trump's future in the White House, and whether or not they remain in the majority. They've got to get something done to further Trump's agenda and what millions of Americans voted for.
Well, whilst you're all fired up, Kristin, let me ask you this. Are you fired up about the Washington Post headline that says Trump briefly glanced at sky without protective glasses? Are you utterly outraged about this?
You know, as soon as I saw that photo, Stuart, I knew that the left and the media would have a field day over this, and of course they did. They're using it to call Trump an idiot. But this is just the kind of stuff that makes the media completely lose all of its credibility. They grab every chance they can to make Trump look bad and tear him down, and it gets to the point where it all just kind of becomes noise, and they're only playing to the far left wing at this point. No one else is listening to these attacks.
Well, it sure looks like it's comeback time for Trump in the Kristin Tate brigade. Absolutely. All right. We'll see you again real soon, Kristin. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Now look.